Hey guys, how's it going? It's Alpha here, and this week there's really not too much going on in the game. There's no events. We're supposed to have a ranking dungeon, which I guess crashed or something, so there's literally not much going on. I've been doing some coin dungeons, but I thought I'd take the opportunity to do a box tour and team tour. I've got a lot new subscribers recently, so thank you for subscribing. I'm really shooting to get up to 200 soon. So hopefully you like this and subscribe if you're not already. Anyways, as you can see on the screen here, I'm actually 2 or 3 days away from my 300-day login. So I figured I'd put together the box tour, the team tour, and show you guys kind of what I've done over the past 300 days. So let's go and hop right in here. If we go, first I could show you some of the humble beginnings. I think I've shown this a bit before, but my starting role was Divinagon, who I thought was pretty awesome because he was a giant dragon in a game called Puzzles and Dragons. So I thought for sure he'd be fantastic. Then I got Shu. So I started right when Fist of the North Star collab was there. I was rolling who knows what. I was rolling out of Godfest. I knew nothing about the game. For some reason, I have an alt evoed Cerberus. Anyway, so okay, let's actually hop into the actual monster box here. So my fire box is definitely my most impressive box. Although some of the other cards I'm getting are kind of making light and green kind of rival that. So I've got the MP Dragon, Shiva Dragon. He is not quite Hypermax. I'm heading towards a 297, and he's my farm lead. He has that set 25x for any red god. So it's just kind of a mindless way to run through things quickly, and it's kind of been my Achilles heel in my pad career because I started off actually with Zhao Zhao as my first real leader who has a set multiplier of 3x. Then I went on to Erd, who's 3.25 or something like that, maybe, I forget. Set multiplier. So I never really got good with lots of the puzzling aspects, hitting the high combos or color matching. So it's something that I'm still kind of catching up on. Anyways, going through the rest of the red box here, we've got Ultimate Goemon, the latest Evo of Ares, who I did get max skilled, which is an amazing sub for Shiva Dragon. Awoken Leylon, Awoken Horus, Ult Evo Zhao Zhao, Yamato, Awoken Hinokagutsuchi, Awoken Minerva. Those are kind of my main ones. Actually, going down, we've got this Frere who I might actually keep him in this form because he's a sub for Shiva Dragon at some point, if you need an even bigger burst, I guess. I don't know. I got Chiyomi max skill, which is very useful. I've got Sonata, who's a great card. There's no skill ups for this Pantheon yet, but when they get there, I'll definitely skill them up. I got a Tsubaki, who again, there are skill ups available for Tsubaki, but they're red fruit. And if you look at my very stubborn Erd, she just refuses to skill up. So that's kind of that's where all my red fruit have been going. I was lucky enough to get a Valen, who's a great red shield. Again, no skill ups available, so kind of stinks. And a Gadius, who is max level, max skill. So that's kind of I just got this guy. Well, I didn't just get him, but I just evoed him, and I'm about to put him to his red dark because then he'd be a red god, so he could be a Shiva Dragon sub, and he's got his delay and all that kind of stuff. So that's great. Let's see, some other dupes. I got this guy who, again, he's a red god. He could potentially be useful if you need an all attribute dungeon because he has the red and green. So he could fit on a Shiva Dragon team. Some dupes, Gadius, Sonata. I have a Chibi, Chibi Red Guan Yu who is max skill because I've never been able to pull a real one, which at this point, I guess it really doesn't matter. He's very situational, but I always just fed the skill ups into him. There's my other Frere, this guy will probably end up being the Awoken Frere when that's ready to roll. So moving on to my blue box, I've got a pretty decent blue box here, and I've never put together or run any sort of good blue team. I've never really run a blue team, to be honest, and I have some decent cards. I got Sarasvati, who I tried doing some skill ups on, but she skill ups forever, and I just wasn't able to run that dungeon with the resources I had back then. I've got an Awoken Karen, and you can see like these are very. It's not full max. Doesn't even have awakenings, so you can see it's kind of hurting. Isis, who obviously has lots of application as a sub, so she's maxed out. Lakshmi again, great blue lead. Doesn't even have awakenings. Andromeda, you can see I kind of started working on her. Let's see what else. I got a blue Chester who's actually useful. That was from the Summer Rem. And moving on, I just recently got a Newt, and I'll put her to her ult Evo. I wasn't able to run the Water Carnival that just came around, which kind of sucks because I had Newt and I just pulled a Sun Quan as well, who's right here. And I was just focused on Fist of the North Star, so I was not able to get any of those skill ups. I've got, I don't know if it's pronounced Muse or Muse. Either way, I've got him almost max skilled. I never use him. I don't know why I just keep trying to max skill him, but I guess it's just compulsive. Noah, who will go to Freyr. We've got Blue Valk. Another Karen, who I've got Xiaowu Jing right here, and then I've got, what's her name, Zhu Yu, who are kind of like the needed Evo mats for a second Awoken Karen. I've got some of those mech mammoths, so those are kind of interesting, I guess. Apparently they could be run with Mori Motonari, who has a boost when you use skills, so if you were to max skill all these mammoth things, whenever their skill comes around, you can make kind of like a system where you can continuously pop them. I've got an Idunna, so I just pulled, Player Choice Godfest overlapped with Water Carnival, so I just got even more water cards. At some point, I'll Awoken her and actually build some blue cards, but, there's always just so much to do. So moving on to the green box here, this is actually a very good box. I've got maxed out for Dandy, Osiris, who's at skill level 1, but as of making this video, we have Wood Carnival around. So I already have a bunch of his skill ups. I'm just waiting for a boost on that. Artemis, Vishnu, who's almost max skilled. He's 2 off from max skilled. Mei, who I might give some more P's to. I'm not sure. I just got we just got a P in the mail, a wood P, and I just got one from running coin dungeons. Bastet is all maxed out. Awoken Parvati, just kind of got her, so she's at skill level 1 as well. Lube maxed out. A Valkyrie, she's not at her final Evo, but she is max skilled. I just Evo'd this guy because I don't know why. I just had the mats and figured why not. Freyja, so whenever she gets her Awoken form, that'll be pretty awesome. A couple Michaels, Green Odin. Thumbelina, I guess, is somewhat notable now that she's an unbindable bind clear for green. Pulled another Lube in Player Choice Godfest, so I'll get him going. That's about it for green. Moving on to light, I just purchased Yuria, who's going to be hopefully a good descend lead. She's 1 off from being max skilled, which is acceptable at this point because I went through hell trying to even get her that far. Awoken Sakuya, I had her ready to Evo and max skill in 297 the second she came out. I've been excited to run her. Apollo, max skilled. Kana, who no skills on her yet, but she's a pretty good card, pretty good farm. Ilm, max skilled, almost max level, close enough. I don't use him that often, so I'm not doing too much. I did pull an Elia. I have not bothered even trying to skill her up. I've seen some people have done that. It's very impressive, but not really my cup of tea right now. Light Kali, Hypermax, my second Hypermax. My first actually was Awoken Sakuya, then I finally finished Hypermaxing Light Kali. I've got this one just at skill level 1. Then we go into some of the other light subs that are notable. Dao Shuao, Fumakotaro, max skilled. We got Light Metatron, max skilled. What else do we have here? My Pride and Joy, my Toyama Taste, Himi Udon, the tastiest card there is. And let's see, we also got a couple guys that I just haven't really invested much into. Maida Keiji, who's an interesting. He could be a good sub when you have locked orbs, stuff like that. I have 2 Apocalypse, which are now all of a sudden awesome. Um, Obviously, to use with Uria. Of course, Fatty Chocobo. And then I've got some underdeveloped guys that are going to be getting some attention, which is DQXQ, Sun Wukong, who I just recently pulled, Thor, who I've actually had forever, and I've just thought he always sucked. And, obviously his new Awoken form is pretty awesome. So that's about it for notable lights. Going into darks, I actually have a decent dark set of cards here. Izanami, max skill Dark Kali. She'll get max level soon enough. Max skill and level Awoken Yomi. Durga, who I wish she would just be a bit better. She's fun to play. Typhon, all maxed out. We also have a couple Pandoras up top here. This one has Awakenings, this one not quite yet. You can see some of my dark stuff is underdeveloped as well. I got the Halloween Werewolf dude. Where is he? Right there. He's max skilled, no Awakenings yet. I mean, he could be useful on some teams, But I did manage to pull Akechi Mitsuhide, who's pretty awesome. Again, there's no skill up for Sengoku yet, but I'm sure they'll arrive eventually. Satsuki, who's almost max skilled, just recently pulled her as well. That's why she's not all maxed out. Zuo, without the recovery, it really makes it tough to use him as a sub, and he's kind of a tough lead to use as well, unless you have an ideal team, and even then he's not amazing. And then after that, we got Dupe Yomi, who I'll put into her other form, and some other another Pandora, which I'll keep, I'm pretty sure, unless I don't invest anything else into her and decide monster points are awesome. So that's pretty much my notable cards. And if we go and hop into teams, we can see some of the teams that I've put together here. So this is kind of my default Erd team. This is good. Actually, I still use this for coin dungeon farming because the multiplier is high enough to clear out pretty much everything. And I have got, all these guys are max skilled. So I'm constantly creating red orbs if I'm not comboing high enough to generate them, because obviously in the coin dungeon, you get hit. I mean, if you have 2 guys on a 1-turn timer, don't take them out, you could be dead. So right now, this is my Awoken Sakuya team. It's kind of a mix of a light-dark. So I've got Sakuya, Light Kali, Dark Kali, Izanami, and Awoken Yomi. Tons of time extends, which is very useful. And it's a challenge for me to constantly hit the 5 colors while comboing high, but I kind of enjoy trying to run the team. I think if I'm trying to tackle some really challenging descent, I might switch to light just because I'm a bit of a wimp, and I can still get my time extends through Indra and the other light Kali I have, stuff like that. But this would be a bit more of an ideal team for me, I think. It's a little bit of a higher skill level to run, but I enjoy all the time extends and the fact that these are all max level cards for skills. So moving on, team 3, we've got my Shiva team, Shiva Dragon rather, and that would be used for lots of farming and pretty decent descents. Like I just ran Izanami, so I'm going to get another max skill level Izanami soon enough, and I ran through Izanami Descended in about a minute and a half probably this morning, just while I was having some coffee. It's just almost like too easy, some of these dungeons with him. This is my Uria team, which is kind of in building right now. So that last spot with Kana right now would probably go to Sun Wukong or Awoken Thor when they're a bit more developed. And you can see that my Apocalypse need both levels and skill levels. So it's definitely kind of a team in the making, but I've seen it do some pretty awesome things. I'm kind of excited to play with that mechanic. The heart combos with the Rose. Gadius, who's actually pretty much the same exact mechanic. You're looking at Rose and heart combos. So it's a pretty good team. Zhao Zhao is obviously there for the delay. I can run King of the Gods pretty comfortably if I use that delay first turn, just in case I don't quite take out Zeus in one go. Moving on, Ilm. This is kind of just a screw around team. If I'm farming or something and I want to do something different, at some point I hope to develop it a bit more, but it's kind of it's not quite there with skill levels, so it kind of makes it tough because you need 9 orbs to really get that attack. You either need 2 light combos and a red, or 2 red and a light, and ideally you're going to have 12 to do 4 combos, 2 of each. Awoken Horus, this is actually a really fun team to play for me. He's a great color match lead that kind of bridges the gap from like a beginner color match, like a DQXQ, to a more complex one, like a Ra or something like that, because you could match any 4 of the 5, so he's very hard to orb troll, and he's pretty awesome. I really enjoy playing this team, and I'll take it into moderate level mythicals, or even do some farming if I want to just practice a bit. Bastet, this is actually a really great team that I'm just kind of getting into the skill level to use, because they obviously need to be hitting 7 combos every turn, which shouldn't be that hard, but it still is a challenge for me. Thankfully all these guys come with time extends now, so it makes it a lot more doable. And with the triple TPAs from Liu Bei and Vishnu, you're putting out some serious damage. And finally here, I've got Awoken Yomi. Again, this is kind of like a team that I will mess around with, because I'm not, if getting just 7 combos is tough for Bastet for me to do a TPA with 7 combos, doing at least 6 combos and preferably 7 with a match of 5 is that much tougher. Again, you get some good time extends with this team, but I'm not quite ready for prime time with it, but it's something I'm practicing. And once I get higher levels and I can make some more teams, I'd put back together my Goemon team, I put back together my Typhon team. Those are fun teams to play. I'm just trying to focus on certain things right now, like obviously getting my combo levels up. Anyways, guys, thanks so much for watching. I just figured I'd make some content that, is not quite dungeon related, and hopefully you guys enjoyed this. If you saw anything amazing in my box that you think I should be putting together for a team, let me know in the comments below. I'd really like to know if there's some subs that you think should be in on these teams that aren't, or if you think there's a completely different team that I haven't even seen. Let me know. I'm interested to know. Let me know what you're running. I'll see if I could give any commentary on it. I hope you enjoy this, guys. Until next time, I'll see you then.